All right, welcome to the podcast. On today's show, we're talking to DJ Kaila Troy. Thanks for joining the pod.
Thank you for having me.
You do a lot of different things for the people who don't know. You got Love Island on your resume. You got DJing. How do you introduce yourself?
I'm a lot of things, as you said.
A lot of things, yeah.
I'm an international DJ, reality, TV star, I guess. They didn't really show me that much, but we can get into that later.
Yeah. How did you get into DJing? What brought you to the music scene?
Long story, but short story. I met this back in Dublin, Ireland. So I started in Dublin, Ireland.
Okay.
Yeah. I met this guy called Frank Jazz.
Frank Jazz.
Frank Jazz.
Great name.
And he is the biggest DJ on the scene in Ireland and changed the culture when it comes to hip hop and everything, right? So when I was about before I was turned 18, my 18th birthday, I was going to these clubs, and I went to this one club, and they were playing all this music that I liked, hip-hop music. Mm-hmm. They don't really play that in Ireland.
That's right, yeah.
And then
you guys aren't known for your hip-hop.
Yeah, aren't we now? So then when I went to this venue, I was like, hold on a second, they're playing all the music I like. So before I was a DJ, I was a dancer my whole life growing up. I did breakdancing, hip-hop, everything.
Oh, wow.
So
that's awesome.
I was planning to dance, move to LA, tour with artists, and do that. You know,
you had the plan ready to go.
I had the plan ready to go. I've always known what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But then I went to this one party, and I was listening to all the music, and I was like, oh, it was the first time I had paid attention to the DJ. So I was like, okay, I got to find this DJ. My 18th birthday is coming up, and I need to go wherever he is playing.
Okay.
So I messaged him on Facebook. I don't know how I even found him, if I'm being honest.
That's Facebook at this time.
Yes, Facebook. Yeah. And I got a message. He's like, oh, I'm going to be here, da-da-da. So me and my friends then pull up to the club he's DJing at. We had a great time. After that, I was like, I got to say thank you to this guy because we had such a good time. So I went, said thank you. I was with my friends, and then all his friends basically surrounded me and bombarded me and was like, she needs to work for us. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Because you were like his hype guy.
I was just confused. I was like, what do you mean work for you? He's doing what, like? And he was like, just text me. And I was like, okay. So I followed up with him because I've always been about my money, right?
Okay.
Making my money. I've
like
always made money since I was like 15, 16. And he was like, yeah, I want you to promote my club night. And I was like, okay. So I was promoting his club nights online, on the street, handing out flyers on the street, getting people into the club, then working the door, collecting the money.
Yeah. So you're getting the door fee.
Basically,
yeah.
I was charging everyone.
Of course.
Everyone.
I love it.
Like no one got past me.
Okay, not even women. You weren't charging more for. Okay.
I was charging everyone. I was like, nope. If they didn't tell me I don't care who you are.
Okay.
You paying.
Yeah.
Because I always knew if the less money we make at the door, the less money I will make at the end of the night.
That's right.
Right.
What was your best day, your best night that you had in terms of cash?
Oh my God, I can't remember.
Okay.
It's so long ago.
Okay.
But I do remember one time in the back we were counting the money and we were like, we did good tonight.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the number. It's so long ago.
But it was working out.
It was working
successful
out.
Enough
Yeah.
for you at the time.
We were doing that. We were having great like club nights, promoting that. I was doing that. And then I was just around this DJ environment. And every time I would finish DJing, I would watch him DJ. And I was just fascinated by what he was doing. He was like a magician to me. I was like, how's he doing this?
Okay.
And this, and how did this? And I just thought to myself, I think I'm kind of interested in this.
You thought you could do it maybe? Or at least
not
curious.
even do it, but I just thought to myself, I think I have an interest in this.
Okay.
And I was just around them more and more. And then I thought about it. And then I went to this festival with him, Oxygen Festival in Ireland. If you're from Ireland, you know, back in the day, that was the biggest festival. And I was side stage. He was DJing. And in that moment, that was the moment for me when it clicked. I seen him DJing. I seen the crowd.
And you're on the side.
I'm on the side.
Okay,
stage,
so you're seeing the energy.
And I'm seeing, and I said, no, that's it. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. So as soon as he got off stage, I said, Frank, I want to know how to DJ. He said, I'll teach you. I said, okay.
Just like that?
Just like that. And in that moment, I said, fuck it. I'm going to be good at this. There's no plan B. This is it.
Okay.
And I just made it my mission to learn how to DJ. And it was a process.
So when you were looking at it, what did you think you were already good at? So maybe it's like you thought the showmanship of it, the energy, people feeling your vibe and you communicating your vibe with the crowd. And then what did you totally get wrong? Like once you started getting in the game of learning, like what were you like, oh shit, this is actually much more technical or more difficult than I thought? Or maybe not, maybe it just came natural to you.
I will say it came natural to me. But what in that moment when I seen him DJing, because I've always been an entertainer and performer, and I've been on the stage my whole life since I was like 5. So it was a different type of entertaining on a stage to me. And I was just like, no, this is what I want to do. This is the type of entertaining I want to be doing on stage. But yeah, I don't remember any bad experience DJing, or I was like, ooh, I just remember like it was just natural to me. But I want to say it was natural to me because I was so dedicated and I was practicing every single like minute. I was sleep and breathing DJing when I was starting to learn. Okay. So I don't remember.
For how long did you do that? For the learning piece before you did like your own show?
It wasn't long.
Okay.
Everything was so quick, if I'm being honest, because Frank literally pushed me in the forefront and I didn't have a choice. I remember I was sitting in my bedroom in my parents' house and, you know, everything's online and social media and Facebook and everything back in the day. And I just remember one time he just wrote on his Facebook, he was like, "This is Ireland's best female DJ." And I was like, oh my God, you can't be serious. I'm like, I haven't even done anything yet. And he's like, that's it. You're going. And then he puts out a flyer and he's like, you're DJing. Oh, and also make a fan page. I was like, are you serious?
Wow.
So he literally forced me in the forefront and he didn't give me any option to kind of like wait, chill, practice. I guess he knew. He knew I was ready. I was okay. But for me, I was like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that's so powerful. I mean, in entrepreneurship, it's really like there's this thing that everyone wants to take a risk, but they want to mitigate it first.
Yeah.
And it's like not a leap of faith. If you can see the net is a thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like he kind of just forced you.
No, he just basically forced me out into the world. Like
what
I had
blessing.
No choice.
That's so sick.
And everything, what he did, I was like, that needed to happen.
Of course.
Because it might have just been delayed. Of
course.
Because I am a Capricorn. We can be a little bit of an overthinker sometimes. January 4th.
Wow. Mine's January 2nd.
Oh,
so close. That's crazy. Yes. And so then, do you remember your first show?
I do. I remember it. It was in Lafayette in Dublin, Ireland. And I remember when I was first DJing, everything went good. Like nothing went wrong, but I do remember my hands were shaking.
You were nervous.
I was definitely nervous, but my hands were shaking. That's all I remember. My hands were shaking. And then I was like, okay, we got it. But that was the only thing I vividly remember, the hand shaking.
Okay. How did you end up, because you knew the game, so you knew how to get people in the door because of the promoting from day zero. So you knew like the hustle of getting people inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so then what things did you not know? Like what things did you have to figure out? Like the bookings, how do you get on certain DJ sets? How do you get at certain events? How do you even expand internationally? Like how do you get on? I
will say it wasn't that I didn't know it. I just learned it along the way from Frank.
Okay.
He was by my side literally the whole time. He was my mentor. He taught me everything I know to this day. Like I wouldn't be here without him. So I was really lucky and blessed to have him by my side where it wasn't like I had to kind of figure it out on my own. I would always call him and he would always be there by my side and be like, look, do this or do that. So for me, it was him by my side guiding me through everything.
And then you were on tour after how many years?
My first show overseas, that was a year into me DJing.
Okay.
I was in Bahrain.
So a year in, you start international touring.
International, yeah.
And did you find it very different? Or was it sort of like?
The only thing that's different was just going to a new country and experience something culturally completely different. You know, Bahrain is so different from Ireland. Yeah. So that was the only thing that was very different because music is so international. Yeah. You can go anywhere.
It connects
and people are going to connect. Because I've been places where people can speak English. Mm-hmm. but I will be playing all this music that's English, and they're just connected with it still, even they don't know what they're saying.
Yeah,
but that's the beautiful thing about music. It just connects everywhere in the world and brings people together.
And at what point does this bring you? Does your whole career bring you to reality TV? How did that happen?
You know, it was during the pandemic.
Okay.
It was during the pandemic.
You're looking for love during the pandemic.
You know,
as we do.
Everyone's looking for love. Everyone was a little extra lonely during the pandemic. But what happened was my sister, she loves all these reality shows.
Okay.
I did not watch Love Island before. And she sat me down. She was like, oh, we got so much time. Let's watch Love Island. I know there's some guys on here you would love. I know this one would be good for you. Right? And she just baited me to go watch the show with her.
She's like your agent. Okay.
Because I'm like, not another, like one of these stupid, because she'd be watching crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So we sat down, watched it, and then I just had a thought to myself. And I said, you know what, Catherine? I was like, I wonder, do they have applications online right now for this show? Fuck it. I'll go apply for it if they do. Real life isn't doing me no good. Maybe reality TV, love will do better for me. So
just like that.
Just like that. So
That's
crazy. So I literally
okay.
went online and I was like, Catherine, they have applications opens. Yeah. So I said, fuck it. And I was like, she was filming my video audition for me. She was giving me ideas, It was crazy. I applied. I want to say in it was April. And then I didn't hear from them until January. So I already forgot about it.
Oh, wow. Like almost a year.
Yeah, I literally forgot about it. And then I got an email. It was like, we've been trying to get through to you. And I'm like, ugh. And in that moment, when I seen that email, I said, I got this show.
Just like that.
I knew I had it.
Yeah.
I know me and my personality and what I bring. I was like, because there's like over 100,000 applications.
Oh my God.
For that show.
And how many people get selected? Like, is there 8 people?
No, way more than 8 people, because you have people coming in and out all the time.
Okay.
Maybe 20, maybe I want to say at the top of my head, or maybe 20 to 30.
But you knew you did better. You knew you had it down.
But I knew
entertainment-wise.
Once they seen me and I stuck out to them and I got that, I was like, oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
And then went through the process, and yeah, that's basically how I ended up on the show, because during the pandemic, my sister.
Yeah. Where does that inner belief come from for you? Like, where does that like confidence? Is it your parents? Like, where does the swag come from?
You know, I think about this all the time, and I don't know, because I just know that I've always been like this since a kid. Like, I've always been so confident and just so sure of myself. And I can't even pinpoint if it's I have a great family. Like, my parents are great. My mom is so great. She was literally there for me and my sister and made sure anything we want to do, we're going to it. If it's a 3-hour drive, we're doing it. You know, I've just always been this way. Yeah. Always.
Yeah. You just hone into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sets you free. All right. So then April comes, you get the email. And then do they want an audition?
So January comes and I get the email.
Yeah.
So I hop on the call with them. They did, I think it was a video call with the producers.
Okay.
I did that. They were laughing. You know, they loved me. And I was like, okay, I got this. Then there's another call. It's such a long process.
Yeah.
Because it's not just video calls. Then they make you do these therapy sessions too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they hire a therapist, and how many sessions do you have to do with them?
Basically, there's a lot. You have to pass it to make sure you're sane
okay.
up here and you're okay.
Yeah. So you were like, "Fuck, am I sane? This is when I find out."
No, I knew I was, but it was just a weird thing, because I've never done therapy or anything before.
Out. Okay.
And they're asking me these questions like, "Have you ever thought of killing yourself before?" and stuff like this. And I'm like,
"What a first date!"
Wow.
And
they're like, on a scale of 1 to 10, pick a box, and I'm like, what? No. So it was just things like that. I've never had someone ask me these type of questions before. So I was like, this is so weird.
That's so weird.
But I understand it, because for the average person that hasn't been ever in entertainment or spotlight, and it's such a massive show, it can be a lot on someone, especially if their life changes like that. Not everyone can really take that. So I understand why they do that.
And are you guys negotiating price? Do they pay you?
You are not negotiating no prices with Love Island.
They just tell you.
They tell you and they give you your shitty rate.
Yeah, what is it, like $350 an episode or something?
No, a week.
A week. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lucky for them, I had nothing going on. There was no shows or anything. Everything was closed. Because if things weren't, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, of course. It wouldn't have made any money for you.
It doesn't make anything.
All right, so when you get on the show, what happens? Like, what are you expecting? What are you thinking will happen? Are you like, this is good for my career? Like, what's really in your head around, like, you play businesswomen, you play I'm looking for love?
No, I was there for love. And the funny thing is, this is how naive sometimes I can be.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. I was on Love Island for love. I really was.
No, I really was. And people would think that I wasn't because I'm a DJ and I'm in that industry. And people would think, oh, you went on. I was like, no, I really went on to find love.
You were like, forget Tinder, forget Hinge, forget Raya.
No.
Let me go on a reality TV
I never
show.
even knew
I'll
about any of these dating apps people went on until after the show. My mom told me to join Ray after the show because she was like, oh, God help you, Kayla. Maybe join Ray. I'm like, what's that? She's like, but no, I truly went on there for love. I did. And I didn't find it at all. It was just like.
So what happens on the show when you're like? How do they facilitate it? Are they trying to get you guys drunk the whole time? Like
no,
okay.
No. One thing about that show is they're so PG, and they monitor absolutely everything.
And for people wondering, you were on season 7.
7, yeah.
Okay.
Even sometimes I forget, but season 7.
Okay.
Some people forget I was even on the show because they didn't show me.
They didn't show you?
No, they didn't.
Why not?
I honestly don't know. It was the weirdest.
You didn't find yourself in like a love triangle?
I don't know. I guess
you were too PG.
I guess I was a little bit too PG. But I was having great chats with all the people. But the process of it, my process was very long. I was living obviously in the States, but they flew me in from the States just to do my final audition, which I don't think they've ever done that before prior to me because everyone's just in the UK and Ireland. And then they had me in the hotel for about 2 weeks and stuff just for this final audition because it was kind of COVID, but not really COVID.
Sure.
And, we were ahead. We already had our shots, but they didn't even have one shot, My process was long than other people. And I was away from home for about 6 months. And I wasn't even on the show long. I was on the show for like maybe 3 days. But I was away for 6 months from home.
What happened after the show for you?
Nothing really.
Nothing really changed.
No, my life was just my life.
You just discovered Raya now.
Yeah, my mom told me about Raya.
Look for love in easier places.
Easier places, but it still's not there.
Oh, that's funny. Does it buy you credibility now in any way when you're like, oh, I was on this show? Like, does that help for marketing or anything?
No.
No.
For me, it doesn't because I already built my name before that.
Right.
And with DJing. So, it like in my industry, it doesn't matter. They don't care about that Love Island show. Because they know I'm good at what I do. And like the artists and people I've worked with, I have respect in my industry. So they're like, we don't give a fuck about that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you make it as a DJ? So after the show, now you're back to DJing.
Yeah.
How do you become like a top tier DJ? How do you do it? Is it hard? What's the game? How do you end up with like a Vegas residency?
It's hard, definitely being a DJ. You gotta hustle a lot.
Yeah.
And especially if you don't have an agent or a manager. But, most of the time, most agencies and managers aren't really doing anything.
They're not that good. Yeah, exactly.
No, they talk a lot. That's what I've learned over the years.
Yeah.
And you're always better off doing it yourself. But I would say to be a top tier...
Do you have an agent? No.
Oh, you know what, though? But I do now. I have a nice little agent, Arsenic Agency. And I will say they are such a breath of fresh air. Yeah, yeah. I've never met an agency like them before. That's good. And I've been DJing 12 years. Yeah. Like the owner, Billy, amazing. All the girls that work there, amazing. Everything is just like very to the point. We get the work and we get the job done.
So when you say the hustle, is it just more of like creating your social media presence?
Yeah.
Making sure you can sell tickets to shows?
Yeah, you have to definitely be online a lot. Creating your social media presence is really like your business card, basically, because every time you meet these owners, managers, and they're like, what's your Instagram, or whatever the case may be, and they'll look and they'll be like, okay, and they're kind of judging you off of that social media. So sometimes you got to be aware of what you're posting and be like, okay, make sure I have this and this on there. But the key thing in my industry is relationships. You got to have relationships and keep good relationships in my industry. That's what's going to always keep you involved in the industry.
Yeah. And is Frank still a part of your life?
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. That is my day one. Okay. He was just here in LA recently, just about 2 weeks ago. But yeah, people that I've started with and came up, they stay around. I'm a very loyal person, so.
From a business perspective for you, so you got 2025 coming up. What's on deck for you? Like, what do you want to do? What do you view your future like? If you were to go back and think about like that little girl, that inner confidence you have, like, what does it look like? Because the thing I think with entrepreneurs is like, you know what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's in your head. It's been in your head for a long time. And so it's like, what does it look like? What's on deck for you next year?
Next year, I will say...
No more Love Island?
No more Love Island. I would definitely do another reality show for sure.
Okay.
They fun.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be, but they're fun. I like the process of it. Like, again, I'm an entertainer. I just
started the Real Housewives, and I'm like, this is so fucking hilarious.
I would love it.
The Salt Lake City, so funny.
My sister loves that Salt Lake City.
It's so good.
It is good. Now, I'm kind of behind, so I don't even remember the last thing.
Okay.
But Real Housewives of Atlanta, that was my one I used to watch for years and years and years.
I could see you have that energy.
Really?
I could see you on that show.
That energy. I loved that show, that franchise, when I used to watch it back in the day, because I'm like, these girls really got their own shit going for them. Like, one's the lawyer, then you got Candy, who's the producer, the songwriter, and she does so many other businesses. And then you have Kenya, that's like the beauty pageant, the hair products. I just love seeing other women have their own businesses and their own stuff going for them.
Of course.
It's relatable for me. I was like,
yeah,
I like this.
Yeah. All right. So maybe a reality show.
Yeah, more reality show, more music. I got to put out music this year for sure.
Okay.
Bigger shows for me.
What's your biggest show that you've done so far?
It depends. I want to say the show I did in India was fairly big, that festival. It was in Chennai. That was very big. And then I want to say one of my other favorite shows I did was last New Year's Eve with Black Eyed Peas in Vegas.
That's
they're
wild.
Such a great group.
Yeah.
Like, legendary.
Yeah.
They're so great to work with.
Yeah. Their music really hits in
It
live.
does.
There's something different about it when it's live.
And their energy, and they're such good people. Yeah. All of them. Every single one, like, all of them, and then the whole team behind them too. Like, it's such a nice family dynamic, and they're just so talented.
Will you drop like a Christmas album?
I don't think so. I don't think
Mariah Carey needs a little refresh. It's like you got to hear that song differently.
I don't think she needs a refresh. I just heard
she's just collecting money.
No, collecting. What did I just hear recently? I think she makes some insane amount of money every year.
I think it's 30 million.
I think it's 30 million. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw it. We went to see her at the Hollywood Bowl last month because my mom loves it, and it was like I'm not even sure she's singing anymore.
No,
she's just doing the thing.
I did see her show in the Hollywood Bowl last year. It was amazing.
I was like,
did you not like it?
I was like, she just seems like she's done now.
What?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
She's dancing and stuff, but she's not hitting that. She's not hitting it. She's just I got my bag of money. This is just like her kids were performing.
Okay, so so it was the same type of show that I seen.
And I'm like, was this like a high school, talent show? No, what just happened?
No, you got to think the concept of Christmas is family. So.
Oh boy.
It's family. It gives
this is like the Joe Biden pardon
family.
Of Hunter. You got to understand it's family. I understand. It doesn't mean I like it.
No, I love the show. I thought they put it, and actually my friend put together that show.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if he was still working on it this year. Adrian, DJ Dubs. He did like the choreography and all of that.
I just think she's like She's not hitting it anymore. Her specifically. She's not hitting the notes.
No.
She doesn't need to.
I
don't even know how old she is, but it made me wonder.
I do not remember any of these things you're saying. I remember it being amazing, the show. And I was like, I like that. She did a good job.
Her DJ came out early and got everyone pretty hyped. And I was like, that's pretty cool to see because it's a skill.
Oh, it is a
like
skill,
when you
for
see
sure.
that and like people are just wandering in and there's not many people.
It's a
and
skill.
it's like your job just to control them all and get the energy
control
going.
them, get them hyped up for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, you got to be
see
watching,
like somebody MC
aware.
it. All right, biggest goal of 2025. What's it going to be?
Buy a house.
Buy a house. Where?
You know, it's a little trickier one because I'm from Dublin. So I feel like when you grew up somewhere, you're like, yes, I want a house here. My family's here. But it's like, my family's not here. So I'm kind of like...
Back home.
So,
No, here, LA.
So I've just come to the conclusion, okay, I'll get like an investment property. So maybe LA, maybe Vegas.
All right, home 2025.
Yeah, that's my thing. Buy a property, because I always say females need to make sure they have their own. Before I get married or anything, because, I'm going to find my love. But,
You're going to find him, yeah.
I'm going to find him. But, before I get married, my goal, I've always said to myself as a kid, I'm like, I need to make sure I have my own house first.
Why?
What if everything goes sideways?
Why do women think that? What's going to go sideways?
No, not all women think that, though.
No. Okay, why do you think that?
No.
What's going to happen to you?
Because I feel like women need to protect themselves.
From what?
If something goes sideways.
What's going to go sideways?
This is what happens. No, this is what happens. No. This is what happens. Because sometimes, right? Okay. Yes, take care of me if you want to. Pay my bills. Oh, that sounds lovely. But then, this is the problem. Sometimes then you get comfortable with that and you get too dependent on that. Right. And then you lose, and you're like, and then all of a sudden you look up and you not have your own stuff coming in. You don't have your own house either. And then if he did some stuff and you're trying to leave, but you can't leave. Because you have no home, you have no finances. You laughing, but you know what? This is a serious matter. Women need to think
have
about
their own backup plan.
Just make sure you have your own property somewhere and your own finances coming in.
Okay.
So you gotta protect yourself. Females gotta protect themselves.
That's a thing in today's society.
You think?
Yeah. And men aren't menning anymore.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. That's a long conversation.
Women are protecting their downside and men aren't menning. They're not creating upside.
No, they're not.
Very odd place to be.
Men are very But no, I think it's very important. Women need to just protect themselves.
I like that.
Have their own stuff.
Yeah.
And then whoever you meet can add to it, or you guys can add to each other. But
well, tell everyone where they can find you, where they can support your music.
You can find me on all social media platforms at DJ Kaila Troy, and it's Kaila with an I, not a Y.
Thanks for coming on the pod.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, share with your friends, your family, or anyone you might think might benefit from the conversation we've had today. And if you haven't already, please take a moment to leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. We'd greatly appreciate it. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more people who can benefit from our discussions. The best way to stay connected with us and get the latest updates on future episodes is through our social media channels. You can find us at Startup Storefront. We'll be back next Tuesday with another great episode. See you then.